What's up, everybody? Jerry Niesman of the Niesman team with Keller Williams Realty here for your Monday market update for Southwest Florida. We are reviewing November's numbers. It's December 19th, 2022. And so we're taking a look at November's numbers, but also checking to see how things have changed since the hurricane, since that was a major event that happened here in Southwest Florida and had a big impact on the real estate market especially. What we're going to do is jump in here, and this will kind of help. For those of you that don't know, months supply of inventory is really the main unit of measure that most people use to determine whether it's a buyer's or a seller's market. So let's find out, what is it? So right now, as of November's numbers, Estero, Fort Myers, North Fort Myers, Bonita Springs are all below 6 months. 6 months here is typically the threshold for determining whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. If it's less than 6 months supply of inventory, it's typically considered a seller's market. If it's more than a 6 month supply of inventory, it's typically considered a buyer's market. Like I said, we're going to take a look and see how things have changed and compare this to what we had back in August, right before the hurricane hit, which hit towards the end of September. So right now, Estero, Fort Myers, Bonita are all still technically considered a seller's market. They're all below, Bonita being the closest. Lehigh, Naples, Cape Coral are pretty much right at a balanced market. These three bars here. Cape Coral creeping up a little bit. And then Marco Island and Fort Myers Beach, based on that, you would think is a seller's market based on the month supply of inventory. However, there's a little bit of disconnect, which you'll see next week, that we'll get into when we talk about days on market and how long it's taking for properties to sell, which will be quite interesting to see, which I happened to catch when I was printing these off. So let's go back and compare to August before the storm. So Estero's now the lowest. Fort Myers and North Fort Myers were right behind it. Prior to that, we had Fort Myers at the lowest with Estero and North Fort Myers. So those three still pretty much the same. What you see here, Bonita Springs was way over here, was actually at a balanced market. So Bonita's come down a little bit. Estero, Fort Myers, they've all of these areas where the main brunt of the storm came in, the month supply of inventory have dropped, except for when you talk beaches, which the beaches are on the barrier islands. They took the full force of everything and had the largest amount of damage. So you can see here, Fort Myers Beach especially took the biggest impact. In August, Fort Myers Beach didn't even have enough homes to even record any months of supply, homes listed for sale. Now, it's all the way up here at 10 months. So there's been a lot of stuff that's come on the market. When I looked at September and October as well, there was nothing. There's very, very few things, especially in October. There was 0 homes listed for sale, I don't think, except for maybe at the very end of the month. And there wasn't enough to track to determine month supply of inventory between sales and everything. So now that we've had all of November after the storm, now we've had an opportunity to get the numbers in and really see some stuff hit the market, some stuff get sold, and actual transactions happen to look at it. But you'll see next week, like I said, come back and watch that one so we can talk about days on market, because it'll be interesting to see. Normally, a buyer's market indicates longer days on market as well. You'll see that some areas that correlates, in other areas there's a bit of a disconnect. So it'll be interesting. But what we're seeing really is that Hurricane Ian has cut out some transactions that would have happened in September and October, a lot of them. And a lot of those homes either went back on the market, came off the market because they were damaged or whatever. But now we're seeing a little bit more inventory. So it's interesting to see how it's impacted, but it hasn't impacted it nearly as much as what's expected. And the nice thing about it, well, it also hasn't really massively impacted. In fact, prices have started to creep up a little bit, which is what we expected based on the fact that when you go back historically in all major natural disasters that have happened here in the United States, if you look back all the way back into the mid-90s when Hurricane Andrew hit the Miami Homestead area, Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans, Hurricane Sandy and New Jersey area, all of the different areas that have been impacted by major natural disasters, prices have actually increased over the next 12 months. So I don't expect that to be much different here. they typically go up between 5 and 15% more than the surrounding areas that were not impacted. So if you take even Fort Myers, for example, back when Charlie hit back in 2003, I believe it was, 3 or 4, the prices in Fort Myers afterwards went up. I think it was about 11% in the following 12 months after the storm hit. So I do expect it to be a little bit on the lower side because of the interest rates and the other headwinds that we're dealing with in the overall economy. But I think that it will increase. Prices will continue to increase. So it's still a good time to jump on it. And especially since interest rates have ticked down a little bit over the last couple of weeks. If you are a buyer, I would say jump on it sooner rather than later because you can take advantage, especially with the Fed still talking about increasing rates further. That could potentially push mortgage rates also higher. And you've got a little bit more opportunity now that we're creeping up more to a balanced or even into a little bit of a buyer's market. You know, like I said, I think we're going to stay pretty much right in here in kind of a balanced market. But there's some definite more opportunities in terms of additional homes to choose from. And maybe a little bit more negotiating power than we had, 6 months ago or even back as, February, March, April timeframe when the market was just absolutely crazy. Really at the absolute peak of the market that we saw. So all things being considered equal, it doesn't seem to have had as big of an impact as a lot of people thought. And I'm saying jump in because I think prices will continue to go a little bit higher. If you're a seller, I think inventory might still continue to creep up a little bit. So I would say take advantage now and get in before, we always see an increase in inventory come our season, which is, January through April. We always see a little more inventory there. So I think that will continue. I don't see any reason why that trend would stop. So, if you want to get in, let's beat them to the market. A lot of people start talking about putting their houses on the market at the beginning of January. So we see more inventory start to creep middle of January and early February. Let's get it on now. I know it's the holidays. Give somebody a Christmas present. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Any of our other platforms, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. It's the Niesman team, Jerryniesman, or the Niesmans, pretty much everywhere. If you search Niesman, Niesman, you should be able to find us. My cell phone number, if you want to call or text me, 239-201-9583. You can email me at jerryniesman@gmail.com. Our website is realpeople-realestate.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.